down again.
Yeah, it's my problem? It's your car, it's your problem.
That car is guaranteed.
Oh, wise guy, huh? Well, wise up and read the small print and weep.
Listen, we can do this the hard way or the easy way.
Either way, you're not gonna get your money back.
So are you just gonna rip me off?
You're not the first, and you sure won't be the last. And there's nothing you can do about it.
That was a commercial break for Hernandez Motors. And this is Ray signing off on Reef Radio.
Listen, Colgate Total keeps on protecting you against plaque and cavities while you're working, and even against tartar and gum problems while you're playing, thanks to its antibacterial protection. And for complete cleaning, the Colgate Total toothbrush with 3 different bristles. Colgate Total, for a life of complete oral care.
Now you can use this, your Comet Price Index finger, to get this. Philips CD Mini Hi-Fi, the expert's choice, including this for just this. It's in the Comet Price Index, your guide to the lowest prices around. Daily on teletext and in all the tabloids every Saturday. The Comet Price Index. Better come to Comet.
You might have called them hippies, you would definitely have called them geeks, but now they are richer than any bank, more powerful than any politician, and they still have their youth. These are the men who head computer firms like Apple and Microsoft, and their story is fascinating. Told in 3 parts, see how they accomplished the triumph of the nerds. Sunday at 7 on 4.
Hi, I'm Gary Imlag here to tell you about Channel 4's new all-night sports service. It's live, it's called Night Sports with Imlag, and it'll feature some top guests talking about themselves and the week's big sporting stories. If you've got a phone handy, it'll also feature you talking to them. There'll be live action from the States every week, a sideways look at the back pages, anything else we can pull off the satellite that looks interesting. Live, topical and interactive, that's Night Sports with Imlag, tonight at midnight on 4.
Now on 4, a land of llamas, geezers and apple strudel. All is revealed in Lonely Planet.
Chile, had to hitch a ride with this copper truck. Seems like the only transport in the area. And the driver reckons that the reason why this country got its name Chile is because when the first people came here, they met this bird that went, Chile, Chile, Chile. Whatever you like. For almost 20 years, Chile was ruled by a military dictatorship, so travellers avoided the country until recently. My journey starts in Pintados. From there, I travel south to Santiago, continuing to Punta Arenas and the Torres del Paine National Park. Next, I travel to Robinson Crusoe Island, before ending my journey on Easter Island. Northern Chile is covered by the Atacama Desert, the driest desert in the world. I was on my way to the oasis town of San Pedro, about 9 hours from where I crossed the Bolivian border. Just been stopped at this checkpoint, so they're looking for a bit of contraband. I wish. That's my wash bag, honest. Be careful, they're dangerous, them smelly socks. Oh yeah, that's my Chilean research I have to do when I come out on one of these trips. Okay, that's this. The 9-mile approach to San Pedro takes you through some of the most beautiful desert landscapes in Chile, called the Valley of the Moon. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
This is your room?
Yeah, it's my balcony.
Your key?
Yeah, excellent. Okay.
See you later.
Gracias. Bye. Oh, yeah. This is what it's all about. Bit of luxury after 9 hours on a bus in the grueling heat. That's what I want to see. But this is what I've been waiting for. San Pedro was once a major stop on the cattle trail from Argentina to the nitrate mines of the desert. Nowadays, Chileans from the south have made it a major stop on the holiday trail. The Archaeological Museum has one of the best and weirdest collections of ancient Indian artifacts in South America. Sandra here showed me around.
Here you can see the mummies.
God.
It is called Miss Chile because she was a beautiful woman.
It's called Miss Chile.
Miss Chile.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She got a sash, Miss Chile.
Yeah.
Yeah. How come they're so well preserved?
Because of the air is so dry here.
So this body would be found like this in this
Yeah, it was
state?
found like this.
God. Do you think she could still make it, even now, to be Miss Chile?
No.
No. What's this? Look at those eyes.
This was used to consume drugs.
To consume drugs?
Yeah.
I say. What sort of drugs then?
They smashed
Night nurse.
smashed some vegetables which contains mescaline.
Right.
And they snort.
They...
Yeah.
Why did they take the drugs?
In the beginning it was a religious custom, then it was social.
In the beginning?
Yeah, in the beginning.
And then it
Just
got a bit social?
Yeah.
That evening, I headed to the bar and bumped into Double Trouble, Hector and Fernando.
Pisco.
Pisco. This is the national drink of Chile.
Pisco.
It's called Pisco. Pisco. Made from grapes. Smells like vodka.
Salud,
It's
hermano.
like a session. Salud.
Salud. Salud.
I'm feeling it. It's bottoms up. Bottoms up. Empty.
Otra.
The really big one. The big one.
Pisco sour.
Pisco sour.
Pisco sour, sí. Oh.
Oh no, what's this? I'm in trouble again. Show me funny stuff, man. That Pisco drink was a lot stronger than I thought, and it left me feeling rough for days. Where are we going? Well, dawn's just about to break, and I've come 2.5 hours out of San Pedro just to see these geezers explode. The weird thing about it is it's absolutely freezing. And I tell you, if these don't go, it's gonna roll. The geysers of El Tatio are the highest in the world. The name means grandfather's tears in the local dialect. Sunrise is the most spectacular time to visit them before the wind and the heat of the day disperse the steam. Well, some guy just told me that these geezers never explode anyway, so... Anyway, it was worth it just for the light. I'm going back to bed. I hitched a ride back with Eduardo, the llama farmer. For centuries, the people here have used the llama for wool. Eduardo also knew a good cure for a hangover. Florencia has kidnapped me for the afternoon, and she's in there making some tea out of cocoa leaves, which is supposed to be the best for altitude sickness, because it's still quite high up here, and I'm feeling a bit rough, so I hope it works. Here it comes. That for me, that. Gracias. Oh. Oh, shocking. Actually, it's not too bad. Just tastes like chamomile tea or something like that. It just looks a bit strange. Looks like a sea aquarium or something. There's a tadpole in there. I flew south along the coast to the pilgrimage site of Los Vascas, just outside Santiago. I'm on the way to Las Vascas with about 400,000 other people who have either walked, cycled, roller skated, and even crawled to get here overnight. This is one of Chile's biggest pilgrimages. Happens once a year. In fact, it's just one giant religious Woodstock. For nearly a century, Christians have stopped along this road to pray to an effigy of the Virgin Mary, placed here by the Los Vascas family. Nowadays, the final mile to the church is packed with sideshows and street vendors. After all, the event takes place only 12 shopping days before Christmas. So, why do people crawl to get here?
People don't feel they have the dignity to be in front of the Virgin, and to ask her for favors. So what they do is try to express their love, and just by showing most suffering as possible. That's why they do that.
So is that if you're asking for a big favour, then you do a bit of crawling there?
Yeah.
The high point of most people's trip is to make it to the church altar, to catch a glimpse of the Virgin and pray for her help and forgiveness. I travelled south to Temuco, heartland of the Chilean cowboy, before moving on through the Lake District to the German settlement of Frutillar. Just outside Temuco, in the town of Petrufkin, the regional rodeo competition was underway. I feel a bit underdressed today, I think. Lucky I got in, I think. What's the name for cowboys?
It's called Huaso.
Huaso?
Which means man from the land.
Is it just men?
Well, yeah, it's one of the macho type of Latin American style. It is.
Yeah. Is it about looking good? Because everyone does look good.
Well, don't forget that the looking good people in Latin America is in Chile.
This is one of the most traditional Chilean dishes you can get. Lovely. Coriander, chicken, bits of potato, and lots of spices. Best meal I've had. Celebrations start with a traditional dance called La Quecha.
My name is Sonny Moreira, and I was the Lunar Roving Vehicle Project Manager for NASA. I remember when we were designing it, we knew it had to be aluminum, incredibly strong, yet 60% lighter than steel. It wasn't very luxurious, and it cost them $40 million. And that's when $40 million was a lot of money. Yeah, aluminum cars have come a long way since the space age.
Train Spotting. The best British film of the decade. A dazzling piece of filmmaking.
Sex. Casual sex.
One of the most brilliantly funny original films.
You serious?
You have to see it.
What are you two talking about?
Football! What are you talking about?
Shopping.
Train Spotting.
With your next extra value meal, you'll get a McDonald's Euro 96 soccer match game card. There are over 5 million prizes available. You can win instantly. Or simply collect the halves until you find a matching pair. Yeah! In this game of two halves, anyone can score.
Some things in life are hard to swallow, such as paying for your home contents and buildings insurance in one large lump sum. A general accident direct. We let you pay by instalments without charging you a penny in interest. How appealing! To find out more about home contents and buildings insurance, call General Accident Direct on 0800 121 004 tomorrow.
Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered for an extra clean taste.
Under the watchful eye of Volcan Osorno lies the tiny village of Fruitalar. Fruitalar is famous for its German community. The Chilean government encouraged German immigrants to settle here in the 19th century as part of a campaign to clear the forest and populate the region with Europeans.
Well, it's not the best way of getting around town, especially on your own, but it certainly is the cheapest, and there's no hills.
In 1993, the wife of the German Prime Minister visited Fruitalar and broke down in tears after hearing the choir.
Apple strudel's good. Well, there's not much to do here, but that's exactly what I want to do after all that travelling. Nothing. I flew south across Chilean Patagonia to the isolated town of Punta Arenas. From there, I travelled north to Torres del Paine National Park. Situated on the Magellan Strait, Punta Arenas was the major stop for ships en route to California during the gold rush of the 1800s. Only a few miles away is the Magellanic penguin colony of Seno Otway. Magellanic penguins are distinguished by their striped head markings and their unusual call, which has earned them the nickname jackass penguin. I don't know what it is, but there's something about a penguin. When you see them, you just gotta laugh. They just make me laugh. Look at them. What are they doing there? They don't do anything. They're just waiting for something on there. They're just, man, God bless them. God bless them. A 5-hour drive takes you north to the spectacular Torres del Paine National Park. Check that out! I set off on a 6-mile hike to see Glacier Grey, part of the 3rd largest ice mass in the world. The best way to see the glacier is by boat, and the only way to get to the boat is on foot.
Come all this way to see one of the best glaciers in Chile out there, and the boat won't even go out there because it's too rough. So glaciers are off. But luckily, you can buy yourself a postcard of what it would have looked like if you hadn't gone there. So in a way, I have been there.
God, you two are experts at this, aren't you?
Yeah.
You've done this before, I can tell.
Yeah.
So can you give me any handy hints so my tent doesn't blow away?
Putting rocks around it usually is a pretty good idea. Yeah. Pegs to secure it to the ground.
I can never get pegs into the ground. They always bend.
They always bend. Well,
Yeah.
you can't hammer them into a rock. You gotta make sure you're hammering it into...
Tell me now, thanks.
I know.
No. What's the scariest thing that's happened around these parts then?
Once I was really scared in a boat that goes to the glacier.
Yeah.
We had to get off, like in the middle.
Of the water, that if you fall into the water, you'll survive maximum of 3 minutes.
So if you fall in the water, it's curtains really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I headed back north to Santiago, where I caught a small plane to the sparsely populated Robinson Crusoe Island, part of the Juan Fernandez Island chain. It was a bit of a bumpy journey, but I got here safely. The once deserted Robinson Crusoe Island is where Scottish seaman Alexander Selkirk was marooned in the 18th century. His story became a model for Daniel Defoe's classic novel, Robinson Crusoe. I headed for Selkirk Lookout, aided by the resident tour guide, Scabby the dog. This is the actual point where Alexander Selkirk used to come every morning for 4 years looking for ships, hoping to be rescued. The village of San Juan Bautista was established in 1750 by the Spanish, not long after Selkirk's departure. About 500 people live here, and the dogs seem to outnumber them 2 to 1. When Selkirk was dumped here, after an argument with his captain, he had virtually no supplies. He killed goats for food, made clothes out of their skin, and set up shelter in a cave, believed by some to be this one. Look at this place. 4 years he spent here and he's done nothing to it. If that was me, I'd have a shrubbery out there, lots of plants, ivy going up the walls there, crazy pavement right down to the sea, plastic chairs out the front, those white ones. Big sound system, blaring out. He's got no idea. The final part of my journey took me nearly 2,000 miles across the Pacific Ocean to the most remote inhabited island on Earth, Easter Island, or Rapa Nui as the locals call it. Easter Island's main attraction is the ancient statues known as moai, which cover much of the island's shoreline. They tell of a lost civilization that has mystified archaeologists for centuries. There are over 900 moai on the island, and hiring a horse for the day has got to be the best way to see them. This is the dead volcano of Ronu Raraku, where all the moai from the island were carved out from here. But, as you can see, half of them just didn't make it. God, weird, that face is really familiar. By far, the most impressive sight is Ahu Tongariki. Restored only recently, Tongariki has the largest ahu, or platform, found on the island. It supports 15 massive figures. Personally, I think fiberglass would be much more practical. At Ahu Anakara, leading archaeologist Claudio Cristino explained his theories on the lost civilization.
Small group of people, probably 1 or 2 canoes, with people, with animals, with plants, with their instruments, arrived here at the beginning of the Christian era. And in complete isolation, they developed this culture. What is unique, I would say, is through the centuries, they developed this idea of placing huge statues on top of platforms.
Do they represent anything?
The Moais were conceived as protectors, as a kind of link between the living people and the creation gods.
And what happened to them? You say they all got toppled. Why was that?
In the few centuries after settlement, you had overpopulation, destruction of the environment. This island was covered with forest. There was an ecological crisis, which led to the destruction of the culture. In a sense, this island is a very good, sad example of what is happening in many other parts of the world, and maybe to our planet as a whole.
Chile has got incredible landscapes and people, but this has got to be the best place to end my journey on Easter Island. It's the most remote island in the world, and the next island with people living on it is about 2,000 miles away, and that's my destination, the sea.